At first glance, it looks like a roast turkey on steroids. Slice into it, and there's layer after layer of meats and stuffings. It's a glorious monster of a roast, a guaranteed showstopper at any holiday dinner. Forget Dickens' prize turkey. This bird is big enough to crush Tiny Tim. Just make sure you've reinforced the dining room table before you set it out. I'm talking about turducken. You've probably heard the name and may have even seen one on TV. Simply put, a turducken is a glorious meat fest, consisting of a boned and stuffed chicken placed inside of a boned and stuffed duck, which is itself placed inside of at least a partially boned and stuffed turkey. And while you can order your very own turducken from any number of stores and online sources, have you ever thought about making your own? It's not impossible, but I'm going to be honest with you. Making a turducken takes dedication and patience. Lots of patience. That said, nothing beats the satisfaction of presenting your own creation. Plus, you can choose whatever stuffings you want and assemble your masterpiece exactly as you like. When it comes to stuffing, I like to make 3, one for each layer of poultry, but you can make just 1 or 2 if you prefer. Depending on the size of your turducken, you'll probably want anywhere between 8 and 12 cups of stuffing. Don't make it too moist and give the stuffing enough time to chill before assembling, preferably a day in advance. My chilled stuffing generally has the consistency of thick cement. Now we're going to get to the poultry, and we're going to bone the poultry. Give yourself plenty of time and elbow room and use a sharp boning knife. I like to work on a large cutting board, placing it either in a very large baking sheet or on a couple of kitchen towels, or both, to soak up any juices as I work. Let's start with the chicken. Slice along the back through the skin of a 4 to 5 pound chicken and peel the meat away from the bones using your fingers and the tip of a sharp knife. I like to use my fingers whenever possible, feeling my way along to release the meat from the bone, but use the knife when needed to make small cuts to detach the meat. Slowly work your way around the frame of the chicken, feeling, pulling, and cutting the skin from the bones. When you get to the legs, peel as much meat away from the joints as you can so you can see them. The joints are tricky. I pop them out of the sockets when I can so I can see what I'm doing, gently working my knife around the bones. Peel the meat away from the thigh bone, then work your knife around that joint, popping it to disjoint. For the drumstick, cut along the bottom of the drumstick joint, severing the skin, tendons, and meat all the way to the bone. Feel along the bone, cutting and pulling away any meat. When the bone feels free, pull the leg off the bone. Do the same for the other side. For the wings, cut the wings off the chicken after the first joint, discarding the wingtip and center joint. You can save these discarded wings to flavor your holiday gravy or for another use if you'd like. Once all of the chicken's bones have been removed, lay the bird flat, skin side down, and spoon over a layer of stuffing. Add just enough so you can wrap the chicken lengthwise into a log, and roll the chicken tight, but not overly so. Finally, wrap the log tightly in plastic wrap and place the chicken in the freezer just long enough to firm it up so it holds its shape. While the chicken is chilling, bone the duck the same way. Add another layer of stuffing, then place the chilled chicken roll, with the plastic wrap removed, inside the duck. Roll the duck into a log and wrap tightly as before, firming the duck slightly in the freezer as you bone the turkey. Remove the bones from the turkey as you did the chicken and the duck, but leave the wings and drumsticks intact so the turkey retains its familiar shape when it is rolled. Be extra careful when you're working on the turkey so you don't puncture the skin, something unfortunately I have done before. Puncture the skin and you'll have to start all over with a new turkey. I like to line the inside of the turkey skin with bacon, something I haven't yet seen with a commercial turducken. Peel the breast meat away from the skin and line the skin with a layer of bacon. This will both help to flavor the turkey and keep the meat moist as the turducken cooks. Replace the breast meat and line the turkey with stuffing, then stuff with the stuffed duck. Finally, stitch the turkey closed using butcher's twine. Carefully sew the back together starting from the neck and working your way down, threading and tightening a few stitches at a time. Picture, if you will, tightening a corset. I like to use a crochet hook for this. While you're threading, be sure to poke the turkey skin at least an inch from the edge, as the holes may want to tear as the turducken is stitched closed. The turducken will be heavy and unwieldy, so much so that you're probably going to need to enlist some help to get it in the roasting pan. The easiest way I've found to do this is to invert a roasting pan and rack over the turkey itself while the turkey's still on the cutting board. Then carefully flip it over. And don't mess up. Arrange the turducken in the pan and truss the legs together. Then wrap and chill until you're ready to roast. You can do this up to a day in advance. And there you have it, a fully assembled turducken. On game day, roast the turducken as you would a turkey. I baste the bird with a combination of melted butter and maple syrup before I slide it into the oven. To roast, start at a higher temperature, I like 425 degrees, to give the turducken a little color. Then after 20 minutes or so, reduce the temperature to 325 degrees for the remainder of the roasting time, covering the turducken if needed to prevent it from browning too much. It can take anywhere from 5 to 8 hours depending on the size of your turducken. Finally, let the turducken rest at least a good hour to give the juices time to redistribute before carving. Roasted and ready to go, wheel this bad boy out to your guests. One thing I've always appreciated is that, unlike a turkey that has to be carved, a turducken can simply be sliced like a loaf of bread or a meatloaf. I may be able to make a turducken, but please don't ask me to carve a turkey. Some things are just too much.